drug, these mics, we get
healthy.
I was working on this. Hold on, let me hit you with this. Let's see if you guys know where I'm going with this. Orange. I put my orange 4-inch door hinge in the storage and ate porridge with George. You guys see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Sounds like Cameron when he fell off.
No.
I was Rocky, before we introduce you, you have to understand that I've been preparing for this interview for a while. I saw a Rocky on an interview with Grunge Cake. Shout out to Yams and shout out to Brandon. And I was I usually don't like to watch other interviews, but I watched it and my judgment was already clouded because Brandon said it's TryPop is a classic. So I was like, so now I had already had to try to figure out, well, how am I gonna approach this? And I don't disagree with it. All right.
Okay.
That's just that. All right. But we have a special guest, fellow Haitian, fellow Brooklynite. It's gonna be great. Rocky Snyda is here. All right. Hey. Applaud. All right. And she has 2 projects. We want to tap into everything. But first thing is we gotta understand this love for orange, because I know that's one of the name of your projects, but also you have like orange hair. It's a whole vibe. So tell us about that.
It's so funny because it really just happened originally like a branding thing, because it was like, Black women, shout out to us, we just like to change our hair all the time.
Yes.
We have the luxury of being like, we can do whatever we want with our look. So that's what I did for years. It's just like, I changed my look all the time until my friend was like, yo, if you're going to really do this like music thing, you need something that's going to be a staple that people are going to remember you for. Yeah. And one of the looks that I did was like orange box braids one time. And then I just got the most energy from it, like the most compliments and like good feedback from wearing it. So that's when I was just like, okay, maybe that was the look that I needed to stick with. And so ever since then, I just like, I want to say maybe it's been like 2 years of straight orange. I want to say. So shout out to my friend for my love of orange. Now, orange is seeping into everything, my clothes, sometimes my nails, not today though, but everything. And I think it's a great color anyways. It's a good energy color,
Yeah. Yes.
You ever
and
have
a lot
like
of people
conflicts?
surprisingly, huh?
Oh no, I was just gonna ask about orange. Do you ever have a conflict picking the shade to like go with your mood?
No, it's usually either that bright, like this kind of orange, or like that a little lighter. It's never like anything else for real. I mean, in terms of like hair or color or outfits, maybe like online, if I'm like making like a graphic or something, like a flyer, the orange may change, but it's usually those 2 oranges, like really like a neon orange or a little like an orange dreamsicle. That's what you call that ice cream, right?
Yeah, creamsicle, kind of
creamsicle. I said juice. Yeah.
Diabetes on a stick. It's way too sweet.
It's so sweet, but it's so good.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
You ever had an ice cream float with that? Like they dip into the soda, let it melt, and like you got to suck that all in or drink it all in. Excuse me.
No, that probably would be really good. No.
All right. Rocky, give us a brief background. Like, how did you get into creating music? Help us to understand your style. I've listened to 2 projects so far. We want to get into it. Listen to Rhymes with Orange and TryPop, and it's. I mean, they're very different types of music. So just give us a brief intro of like your style and how you got into music.
Well, I feel like it's just the age-old story. Everyone says I started rhyming when I was 8 or something. But I mean, music is always, if you're from Brooklyn, like you can't avoid and your parents are Caribbean, like you can't really avoid music. Music is literally everywhere. It's parties, it's the radio, driving around and stuff like that. And me and my cousins, we used to like write rhymes together and stuff. But I never took it really seriously until, I did theater most of my life. And then when I wanted to go back into doing something creative, I started doing poetry again. And then I was like, maybe I should try making music again. Cause I would always write rhymes or write poetry or write songs, but never really thought that I could take it seriously. And then I finally like started to do that and just like testing it at different spots in New York City. And I've been a host for a very long time. So that was giving me the platform for people to like want to hear me make music, is because they already knew me as a host. So it was like, oh, you also make music? So I would just like perform all over New York City. And that's pretty much, I think my style is really, really New York. And I'm just glad that as my music come out, people are like recognizing me for like being a New York artist, because New York is just, it's so diverse when it comes to music, even though in the industry it's being portrayed a lot as just this one thing. Like we always got to have this one sound every year or every season. It's what's this one sound that's coming out of New York, and that's not what it is at all.
Yes.
So I would I would say my style is contributed by like New York and all around me, and like my musical influences, like the people that I listen to.
Okay. I saw some of your influences were like Biggie. I'm not familiar with Kate Bush. I guess you gotta explain that to us. Like how did she influence you?
Well, so like I guess people should know she's like a British pop. She's kind of pop artist from the 80s. She was big in the 80s, but she did This Woman's Worth. Was it Worth or Work? It's Work, right? The one that Maxwell redid and made it big here. She made the original. And she also she made a song based off of a novel that people love called Wasn't It Nice? So anyways, but I was introduced to her by my best friend from a long time ago, and he was just like, I love Kate Bush. And then like I started like getting into her and just like taking the time to really like listen to what she has to say. She's just really deep, but not even that. She's very theatrical with the way she sings on the record, her production, the way she like her videos. Like it just seems like she thinks about every single thing that she puts into the creation of her music. And I felt related. I felt like that was relatable. Like I wanted to aspire to make music that I really thought about every single detail down to like the visuals and the sound and the production. So that's Kate Bush. You guys should definitely listen to her. I know she's probably not everybody's cup of tea, but she's definitely like, I would say, if you haven't, just take a chance on seeing what she's about, honestly, Yeah. And Biggie Smalls is a given. Like, who doesn't like Biggie Smalls? He's just the best storyteller.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure who this. Are you a Biggie fan?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah. No, he's trying to go off the Brooklyn agenda. I do have a bias against Brooklyn. Yeah, so again, I don't.
Queens, right?
Yeah, I don't hate Brooklyn. I have to clarify on the record. I got to go with the fact that we could have had Bernie. I'm still kind of hung up on that. We failed him. He failed us allegedly, with the Cuba thing. But that's why I don't entirely hate Brooklyn. They gave birth to Bernie. He could have done us real good. Otherwise, the borough as a whole, the essence, vibes of it's kind of been like lost ever since Williamsburg converted into like Iowa. I mean, Jefé likes being over there for his coffee, so.
Listen, I don't know if Queens still get the money, but we'll tap into that later. I wanna speak. You mentioned like theatrics, and I was watching some of your videos, and they're very, pretty much out there. Like, are you directing those videos with the director? Are they your ideas, or I mean, how are you conceptualizing the videos that you've been putting out?
Well, the ones that I have like on my Instagram are more just like, yeah, like it's either my like J-Prob, he's a great visual artist as well as recording artist. I was telling him earlier that he's my business partner in our brand / collective called Future Legend. And pretty much we do visuals together. So like it's like we both are like very into what things look like and how to make them look. You guys check them out. You got how to make them look really like how we expect them. Most of my visuals right now are just little clips or like photography of me or like other people, but I do have the one music video for Supernova Girl. But I do plan to release videos and visuals for TryPop because it just lends itself to be seen, like the stories to be seen. So right now we're in the treatment / setting up dates for people to be shot right now for that. So y'all the first people to know that we are gonna get visuals for TryPop.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
You know, so I don't know if I answered the question.
Yes. Yeah.
No.
You did. But before we get into TryHop, I want to just get some information about Rhymes with Orange, particularly the single that you have, how to succeed in rap without really trying. Like I saw the performance video you did for that, and I've been listening to the record for a while now. Give us like, how did that record come together? Is it one of those records where you feel like you have to like take shots at people or address something like you know? Give us an understanding.
Well, it was just I had found a beat and I was like, okay, I need another song. So I was just writing to it, and then what happened? I mean, it really wasn't like necessarily shots at anybody in particular. It was just like, you know, when you rap, you kind of have this, I don't know what's the word, but basically you get to the past to like just be cocky. Cause I can never be like that person in real life and just walking around being cocky. But like when you're rapping, you can be that person. So it's just like taking situations and just like amplifying them and making it sound like I have some kind of beef or something. But I wrote it, and then I wanted a few people. I mean, I wanted a specific artist on it, and we spoke about it first. And then another artist was like, I want to be on it, and they were dope too. But then it just worked out to be quality because one day he was just like, I'm doing verses right now, like I'm doing features, and I just hit him, and we never really spoke for real. It was just like I knew of him and his work. And then I reached out to him and I was just like, all right, let's see if he actually wants to do this. And then days later, he sent me like a voice memo through Instagram, and I was like, this is good. Wow. Oh my God, he actually like it. He did it. Oh my God, this is crazy. And then, you know, sent it to the lab, sent it to Ocean Cat, and he mixed it. And that was the birth of that. So that's people's favorite. That's
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love the bravado, but it's really when I was watching the video, it's how you titled the video on YouTube. I mean, I think just tapping into your whole artistry, it's really just the way you titled it on YouTube was not common for people when they put out videos. I mean, it was kind of like you were also sending a message to the title. Let me get that just so I can say it the right way. Let me look it up right now. It's Rocky Snyda expresses her great concern for people who capped in a performance at Wonderville. And I was like, okay.
Nah, my friend was like talking about that one day. It was like, yo, you on YouTube is like a whole nother ball field. So it's like when you go on there, you kind of gotta like say things to get people's attention. So when we were talking about that, I was like, how can I put these little clip performances and like let it be funny, like in the title, that people would be like, this looks interesting. So that's how that that's how that came about.
All right. And the title rhymes with orange. Is it going back to the color itself, or just the difficulty of actually finding something that rhymes with orange?
Well, it was going to be, okay, I just have the best friends, but I was talking with a friend and they was just like, I was trying to think of names. There was so many names that it was just like so funny. It had to do with orange, but at first it was gonna be nothing rhymes with orange. But then he was like rhymes with orange, and I was like, rhymes with orange just sounds so much better because we know nothing rhymes with orange.
Yes.
But then it's almost kind of like saying like I'm orange and I'm rhyming, against all the odds. So technically I'm rhyming with orange. So it was just like, let's just go with that. It just felt better.
Yeah.
It was gonna be like, it was so many stupid names like, aren't you glad I didn't say banana? And like, those kind of like jokes like that. It was like those kind of things. So.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That was in my mind. I was like, I'm gonna start with that, but I kind of felt like it was a bit too cheesy. So I used the Eminem did an interview with Anderson Cooper, and I guess he's kind of gotten to that stage where he's like a wordsmith. So I guess he took on that challenge and trying to like bend words. So that was the thing that I can think of, Yeah.
I know they said the closest is sporange.
Yes. Yeah.
But
everything else is just like you're bending words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wait, what was that word again? Sporange?
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I know I looked it up and I was like, sporange. Okay. I'm not gonna use that in a rhyme. That's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, thanks, cannabis.
Cannabis probably could have been someone to do that. I mean, I think some of the like Rakim and some of those wordsmiths could bend words and do it.
Rakim would have not used that ever in no way, shape, or form. That's strictly cannabis, Aesop Rock, cannabis kind of realm of like maybe even like MF Doom or something.
Okay.
Just because he got the vocal tone to make it sound like cool, like sporange or something like that.
Yeah.
Everything sounds better with a mask on, I think.
All right. You're watching the Mighty Healthy Podcast. I'm Jeff. My friends call me Jefé.
Who this?
Rocky Snyda's here. Rocky Snyda out of Brooklyn. I have to emphasize out of Brooklyn.
Snyder.
I just want people to know she's from Brooklyn. And I have to just
Snyder and Tilden.
Donald Trump is from Queens. Just put that out there. I just want people to know.
Chill. Look, I reside in Queens right now, and I believe it.
Well, let's be honest.
Sorry, who did?
I mean, listen, I'm not proud of it either, believe me. But then again, it's Jamaica State, so that doesn't really count as like Queens per se. It's like bougie Queens. Like they don't even consider us.
But he shouted out Queens the other day. All right, just gotta put that out there.
I was gonna say you did point that out to me in that last debate they had. Like he had that little bar, that little quip at Biden when Biden's like, I don't know where he's from or whatever. He's like Queens.
Yeah, see,
chill. You sounded like him. Queens people were getting tight on Twitter. Like, man, we not jacking him.
See, I just got to put that out there because who this is really always coming after Brooklyn. So I got to defend.
Wow.
I just got to defend it.
Okay. This is the way.
Okay. So Rocky Snyda, just the name itself, it's because you're from that area, Snyder and Tilden. That's how you put your name together.
Mm-hmm. And then my name is Raquel, so. Everyone just calls me Rocky. I mean, everyone used to call me Rocky, and I hated it, but I grew into it.
Okay.
Was that a family dubbing you Rocky, or was that friends dubbing you Rocky?
Friends. My family to this day call me Raquel.
Okay.
They don't call me Rocky. Only my friends. Anybody I meet for real just be like Rocky. I'm just like, well, now obviously because I'm calling myself Rocky, but before they would just be like Rocky. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, I live on Snyder.
That works. Yeah. I know like Troy Ave did something similar. And yeah, I think that's those are the you and Troy Ave.
He's
I can think of.
Funny guy.
Yeah. All right. Now, TryPop, which is a classic based off what Brandon, like I said, Brandon from Grunge Cake Cloud in My Judgment, he said it was a classic, and that's how I went into listening to it. But it's not hip hop. It's a bit, you're not necessarily rapping on it. So tell us how you put this classic project together.
Well, it's very much pop. It's experimental pop, which a lot of people are saying that they're getting from it. Is that I mean, even when we were working on it, engineering wise and stuff like that, they were like, Ocean Cat was like, this is experimental, and I was like, okay, I guess we'll go with that. But I kind of just like started with one song, which was Build the Boy, that second song. And I made it one day. I don't know what I was doing, or I don't know how I did the auto tune, but I was in Logic just doing some shit. And then that happened. And then my friends was like, yo, you should lean into this, whatever this is. And then, it was quarantine. So it was like, what else could you possibly do? And, probably like people were doing a lot of things, drinking, sleeping, creating. There was different stages of things. So that was like one of the stages, which was like just making mad music, until I was like, wait a minute, it started off like a few songs, and I just kept making more and more, and I was like, wait, this is a project. And so then I called up Ocean Cat, and he produced No Face from Rhymes with Orange. And I was just like, yo, I have this project. You know this genre, so I feel like it would make sense for you to executive produce this. How can we do this? And then that's how it was born. And we did it in I want to say we did it in a month.
Really?
I did all the music in the months leading up to, the end of quarantine. And then TryPop came out September 30th. We finished everything by the 20-something to submit it a month before it was released. So we technically was mixing and mastering it for a month in like a week. Like, it wasn't that long.
Okay.
Shout out to him, because he was doing hours. He was really in the zone every day. Like, all right, let's do this if we're really gonna do it. So shout out to Ocean Cat.
Ocean Cat sounds so familiar to me. I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, I know he's not from Brooklyn. I think he's from Europe, right? Or European?
No. Where is he from? Is he from Brooklyn? No, I know he's staying in Connecticut right now. I want to say that he is from New York.
Is he?
I can't remember.
I'm thinking of someone else then, because I know I've heard the name locally, Ocean Cat. Like, he's kind of building, I guess. He's kind of building his rep, per se.
Yeah, he does. He works in the commercial business, and he's an artist himself, and he like produces, engineers, all that.
But shout out to your friends as well. I'm thinking of when Lauryn Hill did the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Her process, from what I remember, was that it was really like a love session. It was, the ideas were just flowing because she had such good people around her. And it looks like that's what happened with this project, is you started out and your friends just gave you just that boost and that push, and you produced the quality music in a time where so many people were someplace else. People were complaining. I was putting on weight during the quarantine. Some were working, and you were creating music. So I got to give credit to your friends for giving you that encouragement and creating it in a time where people were not.
What helped was I did do like a cleanse during the quarantine. It was like a month of no eating.
Yeah.
And I'd done it like twice or maybe twice before. It just like makes you like focus on, that's how Rhymes with Orange happened around that time too. So it's just like, it just clears your mind and you have to focus. You have to find something else to focus on other than food.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, I have to do this because then I'm always hungry. Yeah, I think that really helped. And also like, just the, my friend, it's actually one person who was just like, you need to just do this. And honestly, it wouldn't have been born if they didn't give me that extra push, So shout out to Jay.
Now, after a cleanse, do you feel like you come out stronger mentally, spiritually? Like, what's the outcome after a good cleanse?
Like everything, because you just, your confidence is up because you're like, whoa, I look great. And then I have the energy, you get more energy to like do. The only thing is that if you're like getting up quickly or you're going downstairs, I feel like it kind of makes you a little weak in that sense. But other than that, like, you can do most things. They say that you shouldn't really exercise or do certain things because some people are maybe weaker than others, but I was able to do, some exercising or just like slight, activity, but you feel more like ready to conquer. Like, okay, you're going to get into a good, when you come off of it, you're going to eat well, you're going to get into a good routine, you're going to like read a book or like meditate, like do the things that you really want to do, or you feel like that's going to help you like be productive. So you end up being like, all right, now that I know now that I feel food is more like to fuel and not just like whatever, even though it's like I think it's like a battle because like you do that, you feel this for like a certain amount of time and then you're back like, okay, I want food. Like you're like, but I think it's a good discipline. It's definitely good discipline if you're like feeling like you got to get something done or or you're spiraling out of control. I think it's one of those things that you definitely could be like, and I kind of did it because I was like, this quarantine, it's going to take a hold of me. I was like, like, I was like, I have to do this because, and also I just have like, certain health things I just gotta keep like monitoring. So it's like if you don't take control of your health, then you got one body. So it's like
exactly.
Food is not evil. We made food evil by tampering with it, the chemical components and such. Ask Nestle, they own everything. They even tamper with Poland spring water. It tastes different than other water. Explain that.
That's crazy.
Water, well, that's true. Water doesn't necessarily have taste. It shouldn't have taste, right?
You can taste the difference though.
Okay.
Yeah. People
if I do a water
argue.
lineup, if I do a water lineup of Poland Spring, Smart Water, Aquafina, and what's the other
Essentia.
one? Yeah, all those, you will taste the difference. But why?
It's like they should all taste the same.
Now, Rocky, are you vegetarian? Are you vegan? Are you into that lifestyle?
I'm vegan.
Okay.
Oh,
how long?
You guys are 3 for 3 Brooklyn Haitians that go vegan.
Listen, this is a big conversation. This is a big conversation. I have never met a Haitian vegan until today.
Whoa. People say that.
Yeah.
But my parents live in Atlanta, so it's not like I'm just like, and they're like more Americanized, so it's not like when we go to my grandmother's house maybe, or like my aunts or something, they may have Haitian food, but it's not like my parents are just sitting around me. My mom's St. Lucian too, so it's like, it's not, they're just not like always making Haitian food, so it's not that bad. And plus my sisters are also vegan, so it's like,
wow,
it was easier.
Vegan family?
My parents are not vegan, but
well,
it could be like sometimes they don't eat like a lot of meat or anything. So it's like, but Haitian
how long have you been vegan?
2017, December 2017.
Okay.
But I remember it was hard because the first outing as a vegan, it was a Haitian, like my aunt had like a Haitian party, and they had everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I can only eat banane peze? Like, are you kidding me? Like, I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
It was stressful. It was stressful. That's when I was like, I don't know if I could do this. But then I realized, I was like, you know what? I don't even be around this food all the time, so it's whatever.
Yeah. I can imagine the temptation, you know. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not tempted anymore. Like, you get to a point where I think the first few months you're like, but honestly, not really. Like, the only thing when I smell fried chicken, I'm like, damn. But still to this day. But I don't get any cravings. I have not stopped. I haven't touched meat since then. Like, I don't get any cravings. Like, there was one phase, like a few months of me eating, like adding eggs. So then I was like vegetarian, but and I was just like, you know, vegans, they say like eggs is like, you know, it's not.
Murder.
Yeah, you know, so then I was just like, all right, let me not. I don't need eggs. I could just have, I don't know, tofu eggs or like the fake eggs that they have. But other than that, I haven't had meat. Yeah, you know, how vegans have fake everything. It's just like plant-based eggs.
Do they mold tofu into eggs?
No, tofu you can just like chop it up and just use the same seasoning that you would
alternative
on eggs.
Everything.
Yeah, and then it'll taste like eggs. Or you can imagine. I feel like once you become vegan, your taste buds, you just manipulate the seasoning and the sauce. That's what makes it taste like whatever it is you're trying to make it taste like.
Yeah.
So wait a second. No offense to you both, of course, being from Brooklyn and Haitian, or at least part on Rocky's part, and vegan of all things too. Which no judgment, but is veganism sort of like dark psychology, because you're turning these foods to make you think you're tasting something that's not obviously what it is, but it's vegan. I never heard of vegan eggs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't really done my research on like what is, because there's raw vegan. There's people who just eat straight. They don't cook much. They just eat straight things like, you know, like fresh. And then there's people who every now and then will have some faux bacon, faux meat, or whatever. But I don't really know what that means for us psychologically. I'm imagining that we're crazy. But then if you think about it, if we grew up tasting all these things, imagine if a kid grew up just being vegan their entire life, they're not going to want the food to taste like bacon because they don't know what bacon tastes like.
Because I mean, I tried that Impossible Burger from Burger King, and it tasted exactly like a Whopper, but then the aftertaste is like all kinds of green composed into like tasting into this one thing. Then I felt it. I won't be too descriptive, but I really felt the difference afterwards. Let's say the Impossible meat, it was out of this world, not in a good way.
Oh, you had to go to the bathroom?
Oh, I got the itis so bad. I woke up from that nap and I ran to the bathroom afterwards.
Oh, wow.
I'm not gonna lie though, the Impossible Whopper was one of those things that I tried that everybody else was like, "Oh, actually, this is not that bad," and it did make my stomach. I definitely had to use the bathroom after that.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's just Burger King. Like, I don't think, because I've had Impossible Burgers a bunch of other places and Beyond Burgers, not the same effect. So I think it was just Burger King. Whatever they're using in there.
Can't trust it.
You're watching the Mighty Healthy Podcast. I'm Jeff. My friends call me Jefé.
Who this?
All right, Rocky Snyda is here. I really feel like this is like one of the more powerful interviews that we've had, because it's my first time meeting someone who's vegan, Haitian, and of course she's from Brooklyn. I think that's very unique to the program. 3 for 3. All right. But before we continue, of course, I want to emphasize Donald Trump is from Queens. I just want to put that out there. It's just in case you're tuning in.
Just stop it. It's enough out of you.
Yeah.
I just want to. Okay. No, you just got to put that out there. You just want people to know, right? Because who did start this Brooklyn thing? You know, like he was bashing Brooklyn.
Yes.
So I just feel like every program I have to emphasize that. You know,
Brooklyn has lost its essence over time, as America has too. It's slowly losing its grip on its influence on the world.
Do you believe that?
It ain't to say.
Because it's
just walk through Williamsburg. Yes, that's where it started.
Through literally everywhere, literally.
But I mean, Williamsburg really takes the cake. It is probably vegan too if they're doing that. So they're bicycling everywhere. They're electrical foldable bikes and all that too.
Yes.
Jefé goes over there just for his coffee and his latte because it's like nut milk or egg milk or whatever he's doing. Green milk.
No.
Honestly, the best thing that has come out of gentrification is the fact that I can go anywhere in Brooklyn and they'll have vegan options.
That is true.
You know?
Yes.
Queens?
Yes.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Where I'm at least.
Well, true.
But, you know, maybe Astoria or something, but...
Oh, Astoria's Williamsburg,
literally.
Jr. It's nasty over there. That's where I grew up, and now it's like, I can't even go back there without, you know...
Yeah, it's crazy.
My stomach turning. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I did have a question though, actually, Rocky.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to jump in, Jefé, but I had a question. So regarding what you just released, TryPop. I'm sorry, I got the name wrong probably. TryPop or TryPop?
TryPop.
It's TryPop.
Okay. It's my mind doing that to me, kind of. Yeah, it's my mind doing that to me. So yeah. I got all mixed. I tripped myself up with that. Sorry, mentally. But I like that they kind of got to the point here describing you when I Googled you as far as Rocky Snyda is an alternative hip hop artist, which I know came to be a subgenre ever since the likes of, let's say, Danny Brown, like maybe you could say Flatbush Zombies, that kind of realm of hip hop. And I know from hearing the album too, like I'll give you credit for iMessage. I like that track just because of how you implemented the sounds, or Ocean Cat probably did with texting.
That was me.
That was you. Okay, so props to you then. Yeah. But stuff like that and how you like just package yourself as being different, not trying, just that you are, and implementing everything you've been inspired from. Do you dub yourself, would you feel properly dubbed alternative hip hop, or do you think you're kind of going for your own amongst that unique realm?
I feel like people just have to have labels. So it's like I say alternative hip hop because I'm probably going to always go back to hip hop no matter like what sound I try or do or whatever. So for now, let's just say alternative hip hop, which means it could be the alternative could be anything. But I definitely am not limited to, you know, hip hop. But I also think that hip hop is not limited in general. Like I feel like me trying pop is still very much hip hop because I'm a hip hop artist. Like, you know, H2O is a house hit with me rapping on it. And that's still hip hop. Pesticide, I'm rapping on it. Like, you know, even though it's like more conversational and I'm just like, you know, if you think about it, it's still hip hop. So pain management is technically, if you think of like those artists who sing sad songs about drugs and stuff like that, like, you know, the Trippie Reds and stuff like that, that's still in that lane. So that's why I'm gonna, just for the title's sake, so, you know, bloggers who can understand, it'll still be alternative hip hop for now.
So alternative hip hop's kind of clear in who's kind of in that realm, who kind of veers into that lane. But does it bother you when, like, nowadays we got pop that's blatantly doing, or hip hop heavily influenced? Like, let's say, to me, the best example of that, meaning it's bad, obvious, was that Katy Perry Juicy J track. I forget the name, which kind of blew up and took over.
Damn, I feel like I know what you're talking. I'm singing it in my head, but I don't remember the title.
There's no denying it's catchy, but it's blatant pop with just a hip hop track underneath it with drums slapped on it just because, and Juicy J for the flex, of course, for the sake of. Does that bother you at all, or like blatant kind of mashups per se?
No, because, I was thinking about it, pop it becomes pop because it's Katy Perry, like, and, pop is like popular music. Somebody was saying that, and I was like, that's because like Drake, when he says I'm a pop star, like he's making hip hop, but because he's so popular, a lot of his music is seen as pop or is on pop, playlists and genres and stuff like that. So I think it doesn't really bother me because I feel like all these labels are whatever anyways. It's like all of these things could be different things because they have hip hop elements on there. It could be a hip hop it could be fall under a hip hop playlist, but it could also fall under a pop playlist. It's just confusing,
Yeah. But it does come to a point at a certain level. It's just music. I think I remember Jay-Z gave that presented that to us, and he said, at some point, the categories that everyone's put into it really won't matter. It's literally going to be music. I think with artists, there are certain barriers that you transcend, and after a point, it's just music. You can't really put anyone in a specific box. It's just their musician.
I think it's because a lot of times
yeah.
No, I was just gonna say I think it's because a lot of times they try to put hip hop artists in boxes. Because if a pop artist wanted to rap a little bit, nobody gonna say nothing. It's always like when a hip hop artist tries to like go into a different lane that it becomes like, whoa, what is this? Rock? Yeah. Is this rock? Like especially if you're a black hip hop artist, like.
Yeah, because remember, we're not too far removed from a time in music where, like, if a pop hit had a rapper on it, the rappers was taken off completely when it played on the pop station or like Z100 and such. Then all of a sudden now Hot 97 is playing like Bruno Mars, like the blatant just pop, whatever he's doing, which isn't bad stuff, but what's that doing there of all things?
Exactly.
Is Bruno Mars, like, does the community of hip hop, is he accepted as, I know he's black, but is he accepted as black? It always seems that he's one of those artists that even though he says he is, he's not really seen as such.
He's half black, right? He's Filipino and black.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I was like, is he?
Yeah.
What is he?
Yeah.
You sure? I think he's full Filipino.
I've heard something along the way. He says he is black or he makes black music, but he's kind of one of those people that toes the line. Like you don't really know.
Is he an ally in that case?
Yeah, I would say he's an ally, but I don't really know. Is he really?
I think he's straight Filipino.
All right. We'll put that out there and we'll see what comes of it. Yeah. Now, in your opinion, Rocky, is TryPop? Do you see it as a classic? What did I said TryPop.
See, I did that. Whoops.
Yeah.
TryPop is. Do you see TryPop as a classic? Is it like your Illmatic, your Reasonable Doubt? Is it,
I mean, no. I really do enjoy it, and I think it's really, really great. But I feel like I'm not even at Illmatic. I'm not at Illmatic yet. Like I'm not there yet. I just started, so it's kind of like maybe when say people go back, like Matt make more music, and then people go back and they're like, yo, remember when she did TryPop? Maybe then, but right now it feels like, okay, maybe. But I'm so like thinking about like all these other projects that has to happen first. I don't know which one is gonna be the one that blows up or that people go back and they're like, oh, this was, this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be like more present. So I don't know if know, what's his name? Brandon want to be like, it's a classic. Yeah. Please tell everybody it's a classic. I'm gonna tell you that I really enjoyed making it, and I really love it. You know.
Yeah, I mean the project's been out a month, right? It's been a little over a month. So I always think that in present day, it usually we check to see if it lasts the test of time, and I don't think artists usually are quick to see their projects as classic. But I mean, I don't disagree with Brandon. I mean, in listening to it, there were no tracks that I skipped. It's very cohesive. It plays well. All the tracks mesh well with each other. So I can't disagree with him. I just wanted to see, like, you know, what's your take on it, and you know, and as such.
Yeah. So that was like the main thing that we were trying to figure out, because the order was completely different. But when we got to the point where they were all mixed and mastered and done, and we were like, okay, because there was songs that didn't even make it. There was like 2 songs that didn't make it, just because they weren't finished. But we were just like, okay, now that we have it, how do we put it in a way that is, like you said, it's like cohesive, that makes sense and tells the story that I'm trying to tell. So I'm glad that we ended up putting it in that order, and thank you.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you already have other projects in mind. Like, are you one of those artists that you create? Do you write stuff down? Do you create it in your head? Like, what are you seeing for the future music wise?
Well, just more. Well, I feel like 2021 I feel like 2020 was such a weird year, and it's crazy that I was even releasing music in a year like this, on a year like this. But I feel like 2021 is gonna have the entire year now to release whatever. I feel like I didn't have the entire year because I started releasing music in February, and then the quarantine happened, so it was kind of like, woo, what's going on here? And then, so now that I know what I want to do moving forward, it's probably going to be like more like small 2-3 song EPs, or like a bunch of singles, stuff like that. I won't do like a huge project again until, like, you know, I'll get an offer or something like that, and they're like, we need you to do a project this big, and I'm just like, okay, can I have some money? Because it's a lot of money making music and getting people to hear your music. I think that's what it is, like making the music, and then you don't want to make the music in vain. So now you got to make sure everyone can hear it. So now you got to pay for marketing, and you got to pay for somebody to market it, and you got to run ads. And so it's like, you know, I think something that big or longer, well, let me not lie, because I'm just gonna be quiet. But like an album, like, which will probably, I know I can foresee like making like a hip hop album or something that is multi-genre or whatever. But I'm gonna wait till I have some big money to do something like that again.
Okay.
But so singles album, and like small hip. Yeah.
For the hip hop album, do you have anybody in mind production wise that sticks out, or you might want to? Oh yeah, I gotta work with them.
I feel like I'm thinking of people who are like bigger, like on bigger scales. So that's why I'm trying to I'm gonna like keep in mind, just so like manifest and be like, okay, once I get that deal, then I can be like, who can I pick from the bigger pool or whatever? I definitely do, because like, you know, like if it's I feel like I'm going in circles, but like if I'm doing like a hip hop album, I'm thinking about like, I don't know, crazy people like Pharrell or something. Or
I was gonna say like, Pharrell. Pharrell will suit your sound, I think.
Pharrell, immediately, Timberland, like those type of like people. And that's what I would probably want for a hip hop album. So I'm probably gonna wait until to see that time comes, which I do believe, like if I continue doing what I need to do, then there's no reason why I shouldn't come. So
I see you working with Rihanna. I see that.
We love that gallery around here. Okay.
I really see that.
Listen, if she ever makes music again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. That'd be nice.
I see that.
She's
I won't say more, but I definitely see that. I definitely see that. You know, you working with her. I think at some point that happens. That's what I
would
see.
love to maybe write a song for her or something like that, or like you know, figure out what her next, not now, but whenever she starts making music again, like what's her next single.
Yeah.
You know, I could. That's a good point, Jefé, because I can see from what Rihanna did with the Neptunes on that Lemonade thing, that could be right up Rocky's alley. That kind of vibe.
Yeah, Lemonade was definitely super cute. I really like Lemonade.
Yeah, I see that. All right. You listen to the Mighty Healthy Podcast. I'm Jeff. My friends call me Jefé.
Who this?
Who this is here? I just want to say this one final time. Donald Trump is from Queens.
Yes, he is. Yo. We get it.
I just want people to know that. All right. And Rocky's from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. We're both vegan. People, we must put that out there. We must spread that information.
Must.
All right.
We are vegan and Haitian.
Yes. and the question still lingers. I'm not sure. I don't think Queens still gets the money. I doubt it. But we'll see. We'll see.
No,
I just want to put that.
You know why it does? Because Trump paid so little on his taxes, so it's going somewhere.
No.
Yeah.
You're claiming him. So you're claiming him.
I'm not.
Yes,
somewhere. You know.
That's on the record. Who this has endorsed Donald Trump?
Oh shit.
Oops.
I'm weak.
Now, before we wrap up, you know, speaking of that, do you have any thoughts on?
Wait, would you say you cut out?
Opinion?
Say that again.
Thoughts? Okay. Any thoughts or opinions on Ice Cube and Kanye voicing their opinion in politics or expressing their views on issues in the Black community?
Listen, I am a Kanye fan, so but I don't agree with everything that he says. You know what I mean? So it'd be wild. Wow. The whole Trump thing, and then psych, not like that was just a lot. But he did say something about helping Haiti, and then I was like, oh, you got my attention. But you know, I don't know. Anybody who's like, oh, I'm for Trump, you know, obviously because they're rich, but it's like,
or vegan.
You know, we got you guys there because we were your fans, and this is how you treat us. You know what?
Yeah.
So it's like you got to really think about that when you're saying stuff like that. Because it's like, you know, we're in this whole COVID era, and a lot of you guys are not making as much money as usual. Because it's different now. So it's like you kind of gotta. I mean, yes, they stand in your truth. So if that's how you really believe, that's what you really believe, then attract the right audience. But the audience that you do normally have aren't Trump supporters. So I don't know what he was fooling us. I'm confused. You know, that's not cool.
I thought you might have co-signed Trump because he's got the orange hair or toupee or whatever he's got going up there.
I'm done.
You dropped the ball.
No, that's the only orange we do not acknowledge.
Okay. A couple of more things. I saw 2 albums were released, and there was a commentary that accompanied the album. Would that be something that you would consider, like a commentary version, or adding some commentary to the album as people listen to it?
I thought about doing that, but like in an interview setting. I never thought about actually doing that on Record, I mean, that would be something cool just to have. I don't know how many people are gonna keep going. I mean, something like that is that I would think that in the future when people go back to listen to it, they would be like, yes, this comment, there's more. That would make sense. Right now, I'm like, I do want to talk about the process and what all the songs and like what they mean and all that stuff. But so far, I've only thought about it in like a long, like just me and the camera interview kind of setting. That's a good thing to think about.
Who this? Put that on record. Like when things open up, when we do a in-person interview, that's something we should consider. You know, when shows start happening again,
yes,
you know, stuff like that. You know, that's something we should do. Artist commentary. What do any plans? Like, how do you think you're going to be performing some of the songs? Like, are you going to do like virtual performances? Is that something that you're thinking about?
Yes, I've already done. Well, I've already recorded one. I have to record another. It's like, you know, they want it pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Oops, I was supposed to say that. No, okay. But a lot of them do, just like because you know how IG Live is.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, it's not really reliable. So, yeah, I think right now the virtual wave, I don't feel very confident or comfortable performing for a huge crowd right now or anything. Even if people are doing secret shows, like I don't really feel comfortable doing that right now. So right now, we're just like rehearsing and practicing, just like for virtual shows. And then the goal is to have one of my own, just doing a straight run through virtual show, TryPop. So, you know, that's what we're practicing for right now.
Okay.
And yeah, everybody do virtual shows. Stop trying to do these secret shows and nobody's wearing masks.
Yeah. That's tough. Yeah.
Yeah, who was the one in Atlanta doing that last week? They had the birthday party. Who's the 21 Savage, right? He had that whole club full of people, no mask or nothing.
I mean, it's one of those things where people are like, "Oh, I haven't gotten it yet," so it's like whatever.
Yet.
But people yet. But there are some people because a lot of people are asymptomatic, and there's a lot of people who are not a lot of people, but there's some people that I know who have a family member who's still passing away from this thing. Yeah. So it's like one of those things where you have to protect yourself. You can't think about anybody else. It's like you have to know what you're doing, where you're going, and how you're moving and touching things and something like that. Because at the end of the day, everybody's gonna do whatever they want to do anyways. Until Cuomo's like, your asses gotta stay inside again.
Yeah.
He would do that without hesitation. Cuomo does not play.
I feel it too, because this past weekend, I'm surprised he's not gonna do a brief. Like, y'all was really cutting a rug on Halloween.
Yeah. He does not play.
Let's wait till tomorrow morning. Let's see what he changes his mind. Just pops up.
Yeah.
Y'all all gotta stay inside till January. New Year's Eve is canceled. Yo, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, no, not
yes. Yeah.
That would suck.
Let me ask you, Rocky, actually, since you're a self-admitted vegan from Brooklyn and partially Haitian, how do you do now to cope with Thanksgiving, the day where it's all about gluttony?
We still eat. We make vegan versions
you have to stay
of
alive
things.
and fuel yourself. But I mean, in your case, since you're vegan, what do you fuel yourself on Thanksgiving Day, Turkey Day, as they call it?
We do like vegan mac and cheese. We can eat sweet potatoes. We can have pie. We can have like a lot of things we still can have. The only thing will probably be like the turkey, which we would make like vegan fried chicken or something like that. Like that we'll do like an alternative. I don't know if you guys ever heard of like vegan fried chicken from like tofu coated with like Rice Krispies. Sounds crazy.
What?
Right, not rice. The rice, crispy
rice cakes.
No, the cereal.
Okay.
So, I know it sounds crazy, but it tastes good.
Actually sounds good. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah. I actually had a friend who's not vegan try it, and they was like, this is actually pretty good. It's not, doesn't taste like, they will say like, it's not like, oh, this is fried chicken, but it definitely is a good, I guess, alternative for vegans.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you ever had turducken before you converted to vegan?
Turducken?
Yeah.
No, what is that?
That's you shove a duck into a chicken and then they all end up in the turkey somehow.
No.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but my mom tried to make a big deal out of it. The last year I did turkey for Thanksgiving, by the way. She's like, oh, this is such a big thing. The white people I work for are doing it. Let's do it too, whatever. It's like, all right, fine, Mom. You're cooking. It saves me the trouble. So try and it's like, listen, turkey breast, chicken thigh, and duck ass, if anything. So it wasn't terrible, but it's just unique.
Okay.
It's different.
All right.
I feel like I've heard of people stuffing the turkey with other meat, but like, interesting.
It's like afterlife cannibalism.
Have you guys ever had fried turkey?
I have.
Turkey? Yeah.
It's not bad.
I don't remember if I have, but I feel like it would be good.
Before I went vegetarian, then vegan. Before that, I ate duck, I ate frog legs, I mean, you name it, I tried it. Frog legs actually taste like chicken.
So I hear.
Yeah.
I
hear the same about alligator.
I didn't get a chance to have alligator, but yeah. I wouldn't disagree with that. Yeah.
So wait, I wonder now, hold on. Back in the days of the dinosaurs, you had the biggest one that was the brontosaurus just eating plants. So if the cavemen went after him and cut him up and ate him up, are they vegan because he ate mostly plants?
No.
Or was that Oh, okay.
I think people always try to use that analogy as a way of saying they're partially vegetarian or something. Yeah.
Right, they're feeding into it, right? Because and ain't it funny though? The brontosaurus had like teeth like what's that called now? The veneers, because they had these big flat chompers on them because they were just munching on plants.
I guess I don't know.
They did, right? These big, humongous things with tiny heads and humongous bodies, just munching on plants.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, that should just say like they're so big and they're eating plants. Like they could eat anything. They eating plants, so it's like that should say something.
Yeah. All right. You're watching the Mighty Healthy Podcast. I'm Jeff. My friends call me Jefé.
Who this?
Have we covered everything? I feel like we've gotten to anything. Any more questions for Rocky?
Well, I know Rocky has a schedule and hopefully a Sunday to enjoy. I'd rather keep her here on and just talk some shit and banter and all that, but you know, we got to respect other people's schedules.
Okay.
On this lovely rainy Sunday.
Might as well. It's raining. Where are you going? Pandemic rain. Where are you going?
The grocery store.
Any final thoughts, Rocky? And anything else that you have to promote? What's the IG, the Twitter, the YouTube?
Everything is Rocky Snyda, ROCKYSNYDA, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. Still stream TryPop. If you haven't heard it, stream it. It's on all streaming platforms. We will be putting it on Bandcamp for Bandcamp Friday. So if y'all want to support, throw anything towards it. You'll see me promoting that this week. And and if you keep streaming it because, you know, these streams end up being dollars, even though you got to do a lot of streams for the end up being dollars. But, you know.
I stream it on Tidal because I know Tidal pays more, so I stream it on Tidal. Okay.
Oh, that is good. Okay, yeah, that is good. That
is good.
Yes.
I heard that and like I want to say Amazon Music or something, like one of those other ones. But definitely I heard about Tidal.
Yeah. So I've been streaming it on Tidal. I'm going to continue doing so. All right. So
just leave it on repeat, you know?
I will.
Just sleep with it.
I love it. I can listen to it without repeat, so I definitely will. Yeah.
Hey.
Yep. All right.
I'm going to listen to it on Amazon Music because Amazon Music has to email me to remind me I even have that. So there you go.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I've had it all this time being Amazon Prime. It's like, oh yeah, I do have Amazon Music Prime, whatever it's called. I just don't use it.
See,
Yo, we have Amazon Prime too, and I didn't even think. Well, you just taught me something.
There you go.
Stream it. That's
I'm about
something.
To stream it right on Amazon.
We got to encourage that. We got to encourage to stream on platforms that pay artists the most money. You know? Yeah.
Rocky's got to eat. You don't have a cheap diet being a vegan.
Yes, this is true. This is true. All right. Well, Rocky, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday.
All right. Mighty Healthy Podcast. I'm Jeff. My friends call me Jefé.
Who this?
All right. See you next time.
Bye.
Okay.